Hello everybody and welcome to 3C Woodworking once again. Today we're going to do a shop tour, and of course I'm going to start with the clamp bench. Now the clamp bench is 4x4s that are put together and held together using a plywood panel, complete with a French cleat on the side. So whenever I need to use different bits, or if I need to use the files, or if I need the sandpaper, or if I need these bits, or yes, even my chisel box, all that can connect onto the side right there using the French cleat. Each one of these are removable using nuts and bolts. And then I also have a smaller version, which this one doesn't have the screws put into it yet or the holes made. Here's one here, and let's take a look down below. And down below what you'll see is that I have the holes are drilled 2 inches apart, and I have nuts and bolts going through them to hold the rails in place. And for the short ones, I made these little clips. See if I can get a better view of that. I made these little clips, so that's a matter of tightening and loosening. And moving on, down here we have the pipe clamp. I don't know what you would call it. It's a pipe clamp vise, and that actually attaches to the end of the table saw feed. We'll look at that in a moment. So here we have the chisel box and my French cleat wall. I've moved things around a little bit, and then you notice that corner is nice and clean now. The Walt Miter Saw, complete. Well, this is my station anyway, almost complete, and it has fold-out wings, which still needs work. And these are old doors that I had made. These are the Vegas Nights Gray, and I still need to make cabinet drawers and whatnot for down there. And then over here we have the new Hercules Table Saw, and we'll get into that in a minute, along with an outfeed table, complete with the grooves for the Crosscut Sled, which I've still to make. Just like the Ryobi train, it's got a place down below for storing things. And I still have the, well, we'll look at it from the other side. So here's the Hercules Table Saw. I'm actually pretty happy with it. I wish that I had a stronger vacuum. I made a zero clearance insert plate, and I made sure to keep the rising knife in for safety's sake. This extends out to a full 24-inch rip capacity. The fence is very stable. I lock it into place. There's no deflection. I like it. I think I'm going to have to do a review on it later. Although a lot of dust gets down in there, and so I'm going to have to make some type of box to enclose it. Here's a small crosscut sled that I made out of white oak, and we'll get into that later. And then the dust collection sits down in here, and then of course the skill saw, and this is for the Craig AccuCut, which is pretty good. I'd like to use that in upcoming projects. And then here we've got both of the chargers for the Makitas, which are up there. I got 2 sizes, so I have 2 chargers. And I want to make a router table here, but I'm not sure yet. Down here I have a slide out, so I've got all my screws and stuff here. And then just below that is another box that's got a bunch of miscellaneous stuff in it. There's the air compressor, which is still underneath with the brad nailer. And there is the Hitachi staple gun. This is my latest toy, which is the Craig jig, the K4, I think it is, for making pocket holes. Here we have the dust stopper, the Home Depot bucket, and the rigid. This rigid, I like it, but in order to connect this to that, you got to do a lot of jimmy rigging. I'm not happy with it. And then it just doesn't have enough suction, so I still have to figure that out. The 14-inch bandsaw. The wood here in the back is still being organized yet. Here's a cabinet that I'm making for chisels and whatnot, and then of course the door. And that's a drawer that needs to be broke down yet. And then of course my sheet goods, including the piece of solid surface Corian here, which I'm going to use for the island top, which I still yet to build. And then of course over here, you notice I got rid of a shelf. I used that to make that desk. So, and then of course I think you've seen this already. This is my bit collection, which this box doesn't fit in the new setup over there, so I have to modify that. These are my pull-out drawers, which just pull out, and it contains a lot of my tools and whatnot. I did those with a box joint, just miscellaneous tools in here. See the box joint, and then you'll note that these slide on some cleats, and they pull out rather easily. And then over here I just did a real quick and simple butt joint so I could hold those tools up real quick. Over here we have the Lichtenberg and my glue sticks, which I have wrapped in tape. And then moving around the shop, we have 3 new cabinets that I made. These 3, they're pretty deep. They're like 2 feet deep. Just real quick and simple. I got rid of that plastic piece of crap. And moving on over, we got the storage above, and that's just about done. There's a few more things I want to do. And then I have another storage box over here, which has got more stuff on it. And then the last one is the bigger one, and this one is for holding a lot of my longer boards, and that's still a work in progress as well. And over here on the top, I think I'm going to end up getting rid of this shelf and putting another storage box up there. And then of course the Vegas Nights, and here it is. So if you stuck around this long, thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. There's going to be some maker content up and coming. I still have a few more things that I need to make here in the shop and get things straightened out. Stay safe, stay inspired. Thank you.